Thank you for the opportunity for me to record the conversation with Martin. Because you went to the call apparently with the intention to help me get out from the matter. For some reason that I really don't know, you was already in the room or you coming. I feel that you was a good person to represent me. I addressed it before you in the court that another personnel that was appointed by the court, like Samuel Dumbo, to another lawyer behind Samuel Dumbo, continue the case. As a result, we never see any progress. Going to demonstrate to the judges that me and my wife, we didn't neglect our children. We were living in shelter, yes, but we didn't neglect our children in any aspect. So the issue that someone from mental health hospital addresses the case to the court and kept meeting with personnel from the shelter. At some point that is a bad practice because the person didn't know anything about us, and he kept appointments in connection with a staff from the shelter. And in combination with them and some person from Broomfield, they elaborated a statement signed by that doctor.
Well, I mean, here's what my question, I mean, it's not so much of a question, but it's more, you're talking substantively about your case.
Something?
You're talking substantively? You're talking factually about the facts of your case?
No, I'm talking about what really happened.
I understand that, but you're telling me your factual version of the event.
No, my fact. This is the document that already was introduced to the court.
I understand, but you're saying, what I'm saying to you is those are the facts of your case, correct?
Well,
right. It all depends on which verbs you use.
Exactly. No, it's the fact that should demonstrate to any professional person under the law that there was some special intention to remove the children from shelter, and there was a special intention to keep the case open, going back in court, and at the same time doesn't provide appropriate assistances, legal assistances to the parent. All documentation that was introduced to court was given to me from the own personnel, personnel from the shelter, staff appointed that were assigned, personnel from Broomfield. All documentation that I already introduced with explanation to the court, giving copy to my representation. All that documentation was given to me from them, and using the own documentation that they gave it to me. Not necessarily had to be a professional to identify that there was a mis-court procedure, and there was, a process to remove the children without investigating the case, identifying situation like a missing food, punishment to the children, and something like that. When we demonstrated that everything that was not really, because we show photographs, we show medication, the fulfilling medication in the shelter, we show that the case was closed, there were no public assistances. And then the medical from the hospital examined the children and identified that the children was not any issue about neglect to consider it.
I'm interrupting, Mr. Franklin, I apologize. So these are all the facts of your case, right?
Well, this is part to the issue that the personnel that was in the responsibility to represent me doesn't make the judge understand, and for that issue, the case was kept ongoing, going back over 3 years. So from the first day that I met Mr. Samuel Dumbo, I showed him with documents an explanation based on a motion that prepared by myself.
Right. But those are all
I gave everything from the federal.
Those are all things that have happened in the past, right? Like
Well,
with other people. What I'm saying to you is that because of a personal conflict, I think it's in your best interest to have a different attorney other than me assigned to represent you, because I haven't done any representation with any of the facts in court. So it would be in your best interest to have somebody who can represent you in court and making sure that there's no prejudice on my side towards your case. From what I can tell, what's going to happen is you're going to get a trial. You're going to be represented by an attorney. I just think it's better off that that attorney is not me. Not because there's any sort of personal bias or I don't like you or anything along those lines. It's more from a professional relationship that as long as as with any client, there has to be the air of propriety, that things are on the up and up. And in this particular situation, I'm concerned that you may have those concerns and not feel comfortable with me representing you. And also the physical, geographical, where my office is becomes a problem as well. So, I don't want, you to think that this is a personal issue with you, okay? I know that the court has said that and when we go to court at 3:30, the judge will make a determination as to what she's going to do. But, that's my request to the judge today. All right? I can't say for certain that it's going to be granted, but that's my application or what I'm going to tell the judge when we go into court today.
I appreciate so much the sincerity that you are having to talk to me like that. Because what you tell me today, I already have observed it before. Because what they are in the middle of that situation is a special interest matter.
Right.
The another person who has represented me, starting from Mr. Samuel Dumbo, and to another person that was administrated or supervised by himself. How I tell you before, they don't show up any progress to resolve the situation under the justice because of the special interest issues.
Right.
I thank you for the opportunity once again, and you seriously stand in the case. I appreciate so much whatever opportunity might be available to help me and my family get out this situation, because at the time of today we haven't seen that the people try to reintroduce the documentation at court during the trial, re-editing concepts and letters and statements that I already have made before, re-editing concepts based on previous investigation made for Ms. Vega and another staff from Broomfield. Concepts that I already was provided before to the court as proof that we didn't neglect our children, because the hospital, when they bring the children the first time to the hospital, the medical examiner hold children and tell that there were not any neglect issue to consider. And however, the agency kept the children 3 years after that medical statement. The special interest is very clear, because they changed the concept from missing food to mental health and try to accuse me, my wife, and all my children to be in mental health because someone from the hospital made the statement wrongful. Wrongful, because we never went with him, he never knew us, we never had any record at that level. And the court determining, the court determining the removal, and the first instances arguing that because of the father's mental illness,
right,
and the father never had into that situation. Now the matter has become complicated. No one be able to represent me fairly, impartially, because there are a lot of interest involved, and there are money from lawsuits that the group of agencies continue expanding.
Come in.
You know?
Ma'am? That's okay. I thought you heard me. Thanks.
There are money from different resources, based on housing discrimination and based on a civil matter that was ventilated in Massachusetts, and based in another situation that Attorney General Alberto Gonzalez already addresses at Supreme Court level.
Okay.
But all of that issue was kept in privacy mode. All of that was kept in privacy mode.
Right.
And when we showed the whole document from the first time to Mr. Samuel Dumbo in an statement that I was ready to give it to you with the whole documentation, Mr. Samuel Dumbo freezed everything, locked everything. I am sorry that you have been touched by the people involved that don't want to apply the justice, but I am no lawyer. I try to help my family. I try to explain the court humbly as I can, because I recognize that because of the matter about special interest, it's very difficult for me to find out a person available to validate the rule of law.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would you still like an attorney to represent you?
Well, I think it's necessary to do that because the court is very complacent with the group.
Right.
The woman that represents the court now is too much complacent. I mean,
right.
Easy to another person. She allowed the agency brought the children with the responsibility only to my wife.
Right.
She gave the children temporarily only to my wife.
Right.
And I would like that you see one day the place where my children live. Very, very, very bad.
Right.
Placement. There are no sofa.
Right.
There are no table listener. The room and the whole smell room, smelling room. There are any accommodation for the children. The children coming from foster over 3 years.
Okay.
They brought the children in an environment like that. They try to affect emotionally the children because there are no accommodation about anything.
I don't
so
want to
the court
I don't want to interrupt you as far as
no. I try to the court know, because when we go back to the court, my wife let the court know that situation, and she didn't say anything about that.
Right.
So I feel it's necessary to have some representation because there might be some animosity. How you say that there are issues that lack you validated the rule of law. Even you are a professional, that you went to university and you open your hand to the oath to validate the rule of law, you are unable to comply with the rule of law because you have to comply with your friendship.
With my what?
With your relation to your friendship, your business. You say that your business might create problems if you go through represent me. That's what you say.
That's not really what I said. I'm just saying that it's in your best interest to have a lawyer other than me, is really what it comes down to.
But, okay, this is your consideration. I respect that, because I respect your engagement, I respect your relationship, but that doesn't come from me. That's coming from you.
That's fine.
You are the person who tell me I cannot represent you,
That's
and
right.
I am grateful for that.
Right.
Because if you were another, like Samuel Dumber and some another 18B working with him,
Right.
that took the case, make it, introduce a document, fill a form or whatever, knowing by themselves that they were not doing the job properly. There was not serious legal representative.
Right.
They were not serious person, but different than you. You clearly advise me that you are not the real person to defend me. I am thank you anyway.
You're welcome.
I am thank you.
And what I'll do is I'll let the court know that you're still interested in having an attorney who's qualified to represent you.
Yet because